So I'm not sure how many of you guys out there can relate. I'm sure that all of you can to looking at that number of concurrent viewers that you have and thinking, okay, this stream isn't working or this stream is working, and your happiness going on a roller coaster. And when you're live streaming and you see that big number on there of that, like, it may be, big is relative to everybody, right? That big number of 20 viewers, 200 viewers, 1,000 viewers, and you're like, oh my God, and you feel those highs, and you feel those endorphins, and you feel absolutely incredible. You're on top of the world when those big numbers come in, and you're feeling so happy, juiced up that all those numbers are coming in. How many of you guys can relate to that, right? Probably a lot of you guys can relate to that high, that endorphins high of getting those massive viewer numbers. I have experienced this in the past, and it messed me up emotionally. I want to talk about that a little bit. That's what these people are talking about in this Reddit thread behind me as well. I was on the front page of YouTube Gaming when it launched. I was in business publications, my face going, having my headphones on, streaming on the front page of YouTube Gaming. We had thousands of concurrent viewers. It was like 3,000 to 5,000 that day. It was incredible. I shared it with my parents. I was in Bloomberg. It was amazing. When Diablo 3 launched, I was the #1 stream on Diablo 3 on Twitch. I had like 12,000 concurrent viewers watching me play Diablo 3. I know what those highs feel like as a streamer. When you have so many viewers, it all looks like it's going so well. And then the next stream you do, or 10 streams later, or 50 streams later, let me know in chat if you can relate to this. 50 streams later, you got like 10 viewers. You got 50 viewers, whatever it is. That number is so much lower, and it crushes you. It crushes you when that number is so much lower. How do you get off of that emotional roller coaster of going way up, and when your viewership is up and then coming way down, how do you deal with that? Well, there's a couple different ways that I deal with it and that I have dealt with it over the past. When I was full-time 10 years ago, on Twitch as a partner, I actually stopped live streaming for a living full-time because I couldn't handle what I'm talking about today emotionally. My personal happiness was directly connected to the number of viewers I was getting on every single stream. And when the numbers went down, I couldn't handle it. I was smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, you name it, to deal with that. And I was a freaking emotional wreck during that time. Let's go over some other people's experiences. And the way that I deal with it now is I look at two things. I look at what the actual prospects are of growing and becoming a full-time live streamer. I'm going to go over all of those numbers for you guys today on all of these sites, including Streamlabs, including Twitch stats, including Gnome, and going over numbers of people and showing you strategies of people that are blowing up on Twitch and what's required to do that. That's step number 1 to understanding what your prospects are to grow. And then step number 2 is understanding that if you aren't going to base your happiness completely off of the viewership numbers that you're acquiring as a streamer, then that's a good step. Then what does it mean if you aren't quote unquote successful? What if you don't go full-time strictly as a streamer? What does that mean for your career? And I'm going to talk about what that's meant for my career and dozens of other people that I've worked with that are now working full-time in this industry, and how you can leverage your skills as a streamer for that. You got it? That's the premise. Let's get into it. So here's the post. This one got 1,000 upvotes on Reddit, and I really wanted to share it with you. It says, "Don't base your happiness off streaming," says Rage Quitting Rob. Here's what he says. "I see so many posts about how streaming helped people or helps save them or doing other things, but the problem is viewers come, viewers go, and in 1 month you might be doing extremely well, and the next time you have nobody watching." Can any of you guys relate to that? I mean, seriously, it's just a hobby, he says, for most other people, and it shouldn't be the only thing keeping you happy. Okay? When I saw this, I was like, oh my God, why don't we share this message with others? But some other streamers piped in here that have decent viewerships. I think a better viewpoint is don't base your happiness off of viewers, and don't connect streaming and viewers together. Just stream, and if people come, it's great, and if they don't, they don't. So I think a lot of people out there, I think a lot of folks watching this right now can't really deal with that. And I'm one of those people. I haven't been able to deal with that sort of thing in the past myself. I see the numbers, the success, the growth, the financials that come from streaming and online broadcasting as being directly connected to my self-worth, my purpose in life, and what have you. So how do you disconnect those two things? It's easy to say, just stream as your hobby. But a lot of you guys out there, if you're watching me right now, you're not streaming because you want it to be a hobby. You're streaming because you're trying your ass off to actually make it your full-time job. Am I right? I think Relia knows what I'm talking about. I think Drew Jordan knows what I'm talking about in live chat. So how do you disconnect those two things? Here's how. Let's look at the likelihood of you becoming a successful streamer and look at the numbers. Nick knows what I'm talking about in chat. So first things first, the Streamlabs Q3 report, the Q4 report's coming out soon. Let's look at the competition. Let's look at the reality of the situation of you connecting viewers to your happiness. The number of Twitch unique channels right now, according to Stream Hatchet, is 10 million. At the beginning, about this time last year, it was about 5 million. So if you're a Twitch streamer, you are competing against 10 million people for viewers, okay? So what's the likelihood that you can break through and become the top 1% out of 10 million? It's not very high. But you know what? 10 million might not be that bad if the average concurrent viewership is proportionate. Well, unfortunately, it is not. On Twitch, this time last year, there were about 1.3 million average concurrent viewers on Twitch at any given time. And now this year, there's only 2 million. So that means, let's just do some quick math here, my friends. And stay with me on this because this is important to recognize. There are 10 million streamers on Twitch, and there are only 10 miliano. Great. Awesome. I can't type today. There are 10 million streamers, and I just can't type at all. 10 million streamers and 2 million viewers. So what does that mean? That means that there is 1/5 of a viewer per streamer. That's essentially the ratio that we're going to look at here today. Now, obviously, this math is a bit skewed. These aren't just a 1-for-1, but roughly speaking, when we compare Twitch to other platforms, there's 1/5 of a viewer per streamer when we look at the numbers that we're seeing in front of us in this report, okay? Let's remember that 1/5 of a viewer per streamer when we do this sort of a calculation. When we look at YouTube, I just want to show you guys your odds. On YouTube, there are currently 1 million, I'll disappear, 1 million streamers that are active on the platform right now, 1 million. But if we look at the average concurrent viewers, there's 700,000. So let's do our math on this. Let's do our odds. Once again, these numbers are obviously, it's not entirely accurate. I'm overly simplifying here, but we're just doing this to illustrate a point. There's 1 million streamers on YouTube, and then there's roughly 700K viewers at any given point. So if we're to do kind of apples for apples math here on YouTube versus Twitch in this case, there would be 0.07 viewers per streamer. So there are more viewers per streamer than on Twitch. There was 1/5 of one. There's almost 1 viewer per streamer on YouTube, but we still, on these two biggest streaming platforms out there, there still isn't even 1 viewer for each of you that are watching right now. Do you see where I'm going with this right now? There's not even 1 viewer for you. If you look at the math, if you guys are just an average streamer on the platform, right? Let's look at Facebook Gaming by contrast, okay? Facebook Gaming's unique channels this last year, 267,000 unique channels, and the number of concurrent viewers at any point is 379,000. So let's do some math on this, guys. You see where I'm going with this? There is 370K streamers on Facebook Gaming, and based on this math, I'm sorry, there were 360K streamers. Oops, I just lost the number out of my head. It was 267K streamers. Let's do the math on this, and then we're going to do an apples to apples comparison. But there are 379K viewers. So there is roughly, 1+ viewers per streamer. So the only platform out there right now where there is at least 1 viewer per streamer, 1 viewer per streamer is Facebook Gaming. And there is about 1 viewer per streamer there. The other platforms, Twitch, there's 1/5 of a viewer per streamer. And on YouTube, there is almost 1 viewer per streamer. And on Facebook Gaming, there is a little bit more than 1 viewer per streamer. So if you want to look at your prospects of growing, if you want to look at the kind of insanity of connecting the number of viewers that you have on these platforms to your happiness, it is absolutely ludicrous to do that. It is absolutely ludicrous. So out of these millions of streamers, these 10 million plus streamers out there, there is on average across the board less than one viewer for each of them. Less than one viewer for each of them. Yet all of these millions of streamers are connecting their self-worth, their happiness with getting viewers. Do you see how absolutely insane that is? Do you see how all of these people are setting themselves up not to be happy? So there has to be a mindset shift here. There has to be a mindset shift here. If there is less than one viewer for each of you guys out there that are streaming, then what value are you getting as an individual from streaming? Because getting viewers is unlikely. And so what I want you guys to start thinking about is how the skills that you're acquiring, and Squad Track, who's in chat right now, is really a great example of this. The skills that you're acquiring as a graphic designer, as a video editor, as a broadcaster who's maybe putting together a control room, a studio situation here in your control room. How can you use these streaming skills, this streaming equipment, this streaming lifestyle that you're putting together to drive your success in the future? And one example that I will share with you guys right now is Squad Track, who's in chat. He's a Fortnite streamer, not that successful as far as viewership is concerned. It hasn't really gotten that much traction at all. However, I hired him to be a channel manager for me to edit videos, and he's now making a good salary as a very young man using his streaming skills, his thumbnail skills, his YouTube channel management skills that he learned as a, what people would call a failed streamer. Like, he's not, making enough money full-time as a streamer, so you could say that's a failure. Well, guess what? It wasn't a failure. I'm going to use you as an example, Squad Track. Sorry. It wasn't a failure because he used his skills that he acquired by streaming in a professional capacity. The world has changed, and I've talked about this before on the show, but the world has changed permanently to where companies, individuals, and people with money need you guys to manage their social media. They need you guys to run their webinars and to run their events for their business. They need you guys to teach them how to use OBS, how to use webcams, how to use Twitter, how to use TikTok, how to do lighting, how to set up a camera, how to set up a microphone. They need you guys to use your technical skills, your social media skills, and your professional skills that you have to help their businesses thrive in this new world where everybody's going remote and everything's going on the internet. That's the idea I'm going to put in your head right now. But wait, there's even more interesting statistics I want to show you guys to illustrate the market and to illustrate how you need to be career focused. Really quick, we are giving away $1,100 in gaming creator gear for free. Link in the description below. It includes this microphone, this shock mount, this boom arm, and the mixer that goes with it. Compliments of Rode. If you want to sound this good, you could win this package for free. Let me just show it to you really quick. This is the package here. It includes the Rodecaster Pro mixer and TubeBuddy, our friends, threw in a legend license of TubeBuddy if you're looking to step up your YouTube channel management game, and our friends over at Restream threw in a license for Restream if you want to stream to multiple platforms and grow through live streaming faster. All of this for free. Enter to win the sweepstakes in the link in the description below. Best of luck to you. I hope you win. Good luck, gaming creators.